TCAS alert.
And we've just got a special news report. Around 10 minutes ago, a strange sighting of an unidentified flying aircraft that was spotted flying low over Oakland International Airport. According to eyewitness reports, this was an object that was flying extremely slow and was appearing to be examining the area. A strange green light with an extreme amount of heat was also reported to have emanated off this flying object. Several videos showed a strange disc-like aircraft flying into the bay, climbing out of the atmosphere. This did not cause any damage to the airport. There have been greater numbers of sightings of flying objects across the world in the past 3 years now than the 30 years before that combined.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the San Francisco Police Department. A couple minutes ago, an unknown aircraft has been spotted around the city of San Francisco. Civilians and local authorities believe that this could be a remote-controlled drone, but this has not been confirmed at this time. This aircraft does not pose a threat to civilians in the city of San Francisco. Law enforcement had been called in to bring this aircraft to the ground. Residents should remain at home during this time due to the situation. Stay tuned to local media outlets on the situation.
Be More, PBS.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the San Francisco Police Department. An unidentified aircraft has crashed into the San Bruno Mountain State and County Park and has caused widespread damage to the park in some areas in Brisbane. Residents in these areas are urged to seek shelter now and should not approach the crash site as a massive fire has broken out and firefighters are attempting to head to the location. It is unknown if this was a commercial aircraft or if it was drone controlled at this time, but an investigation will be taking place shortly. Please stay tuned to local media outlets on this dangerous situation.
As we have breaking news, more sightings of strange flying objects have occurred across the planet, and just this week 70 sightings have occurred, most in North America, but some were spotted flying alarmingly low over highly populated areas. Just 10 days ago, one of these objects crashed into San Francisco after flying low over Oakland International Airport. A total of 8 deaths and 37 injuries occurred from this as the flying object was traveling at high speeds when it impacted the ground. No signs of life form was reported from this object at this time. Other information about this has not been released yet, but several tourists who were in the area at the time were able to take pictures and videos of this flying object. Air travel has been the same, and no airspace has been closed at this time as these aircraft are not hostile. No other aircraft have crashed at this.
Sure, you're happy.
have also reported seeing these objects moving at an incredibly fast rate. Please stay updated to local media outlets on this dangerous situation.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. At 6:25 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, numerous unidentified flying objects from unknown origins appeared over central Washington and began firing high weaponry explosives, destroying the Capitol building and the White House, as well as killing the President, Vice President, and some of the House of Representatives and Senate. This attack has left a crater in the Washington area around 2 miles wide. Other attacks have been reported in the following cities: Toronto, Ottawa, Moscow, Paris, London, Beijing, Berlin, and Tokyo. Residents in the District of Columbia are highly urged to evacuate as soon as possible. Gather a short supply of food, water, and medical supplies and take United States Route 95 south out of the city. Power in the city has also been cut at this time, and massive fires have been reported in nearby suburban areas. Stay updated to local media outlets on this dangerous situation. Do not hesitate. Evacuate the area.
The show where everything is made up and the points don't.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the New York Police Department. A strange flying object for unknown origins was reported to have descended from the atmosphere into the New York metro area and reportedly destroyed the 60 Hudson Street building location on Hudson Street in Manhattan. It has also caused total destruction to the building, causing Wi-Fi outages in the following states across of the United States as a result. These states include New York, Pennsylvania, Vermont, Maine, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Maryland, and Virginia. Residents in the New York City metro area are urged to seek a shelter as soon as possible, as other attacks may occur shortly by these hostile flying objects. Lock all doors and windows to your home and do not let anyone into your home. A large fire has broken out in the city as well. Washington, D.C. has also experienced these attacks, and the President and Vice President has been killed after the White House was attacked and destroyed. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi, has been sworn into office. Please stay updated to local media outlets on this dangerous situation.
A 911 telephone outage has occurred in the following counties in New York State after a massive spam of the telephone number occurred: Albany, Greene, Ulster, Dutchess, Orange, Putnam, Rockland, Washington, Rensselaer, and Columbia. Residents in these counties should check their non-emergency line in case they have an emergency, or head to your local fire department or police station to report an emergency. Residents in these areas should stay updated to local media outlets on this dangerous situation.
Reported alien attacks in the area, and currently Nancy Pelosi has ordered all reserves to be called in and to head into locations where alien attacks are occurring. No kinds of alien life has been reported. St. Basil's Cathedral and the Moscow Kremlin has been destroyed. The Eiffel Tower as well as Big Ben has also been destroyed. All airspace and all commercial transport is shut down and will only be used for emergency use. The United States has declared a state of emergency for the whole United States. Here in Hawaii, we've had no attacks at all and a minimum amount of sightings. On the East Coast, only minor amounts of attacks are occurring at the moment, but major attacks did occur earlier, with most of Washington being destroyed, and much of the 60 Hudson building being destroyed, causing major Wi-Fi outages on the East Coast. The death toll is already estimated to be above 200,000, mainly from DC and New York. The death toll across the planet is expected to be just above 2 million at this time. We appear to have another breaking news report. From Los Angeles, multiple people on beaches who were unaware of the alien attacks have been reported to be falling dead to some kind of virus. Los Angeles has seen no attacks from aliens at this time, and it is believed by experts by members of Homeland Security that this could be a sign of biological warfare. According to eyewitness reports, a massive hissing noise was reported coming from a flying object, and a strange black-like gas was released from this flying object.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the Los Angeles Police Department. Hospitals across the city are being overwhelmed by new cases of a virus that was released into the air as a form of biological warfare, with some reports of doctors falling ill to this virus. At this time, most hospitals have reached full capacity and are unable to take in new patients. Therefore, all residents should seek shelter now in a lower part of your home or isolated room of your home. If someone you know falls ill to the virus, do not take them to a hospital. Instead, isolate them in a room and make sure to disinfect any surfaces they may have touched. If necessary, you should commit suicide if you get this virus. Alien attacks have been occurring all over California and have caused near destruction to the city of Los Angeles. Emergency bunkers have opened up across parts of the metro area and are marked with large orange flags. Remember to keep 9 feet of distance from others when heading to these shelters and to wear a face mask. Make sure to stay updated to local media outlets on this dangerous situation.
We interrupt normal programming at the request of the Department of Homeland Security and President Nancy Pelosi. This is a national emergency. Please listen to this station for instructions to ensure your safety. This is KSHB-TV in Kansas City, Missouri. If you are not in this local area, you should now tune to stations giving updates so your area. This is a national emergency. Do not use your telephone. The telephone lines should be kept open for emergency use. Please stand by. Please stand. The following message is transmitted at the request of Homeland Security and President Nancy Pelosi. An alien invasion is currently taking place across the planet that has caused near destruction to the following cities: London, Paris, Moscow, Beijing, and Washington, D.C. President Donald Trump and Vice President Mike Pence have been killed in the White House, and House of Representatives leader Nancy Pelosi has been transported to an undisclosed location and will be speaking on all stations shortly. Explosions from alien attacks have been reported in the following locations: National World War I Museum and Memorial, Barney Alice Plaza, and Kansas City International Airport. Police are en route to these locations. If you see any flying object in the area, leave the area and call 911 immediately. Stay indoors and stay away from windows. Shelter in basements, bathrooms, or garages. Explosions of unknown magnitude could occur at any time in your local area. Seek shelter immediately and await further instructions. A biological weapon has been released into the air in cities across the United States. These cities include Los Angeles, San Diego, Seattle, Charlotte, and New York. It is possible that this virus could be released into other cities. Therefore, residents are urged to seek shelter now and should not let anyone into your home. Symptoms of this virus include sudden and intense headaches, nausea, organ failure, and fever. If someone in your residence falls ill to this virus, self-quarantine them in a garage or basement for an indefinite period of time. The Army is currently engaging alien ships at this time, but major casualties have been reported as
The following message is transmitted at the request of the Department of Homeland Security and the House of Representatives. A mandatory evacuation order has been issued for all counties with a population over 800,000, and the following counties are under this evacuation order: Richmond, Kings, Queens, Bronx, New York, Nassau, Suffolk, Westchester, and Rockland. Residents in these areas should evacuate out of the city using Route 295 North, 684 North, 276 South, and 95 Northwest. Parts of Manhattan have experienced major damage from alien attacks at this time, and it may be necessary to take surface streets in the Bronx for evacuations, as well as taking the Verrazano Narrows Bridge out of Brooklyn into Staten Island. Alien attacks have not occurred at this time, but have caused major damage to the city in earlier hours, destroying internet services, parts of Central Park, Rockefeller Plaza, and destroyed all satellites on the planet. When evacuating, gather food, water, medical supplies, and a battery-powered radio to last up to 3 weeks. Do not head to schools, retirement homes, or hospitals to pick up loved ones. These facilities have their own evacuation procedures. Tie a bright-colored piece of cloth or clothing to your door handle or mailbox to let local authorities know that you are aware of the situation and are evacuating. Do not use the telephone. The telephone lines should be kept open for emergency use. Please stay tuned to local media outlets on this dangerous situation.
I'm Kippy. We've seen mass looting in major cities across the area, and thousands are panicking. The government is on near collapse at this time as cities such as Chicago, Los Angeles, Houston, and New York have near destroyed and almost uninhabitable internet services have been down, and the use of biological warfare in the West Coast has occurred. The death toll could be around 800 million global at this time, but is unknown at this time. The use of cell phones has been cut as well. That includes the 911 telephone line. All residents listening are highly urged to seek shelter now in an underground shelter as soon as possible. If a member in your residence falls ill to the virus, self-quarantine them in a different room for a select amount of time, and make sure to wash hands frequently with soap and water, and always wear a face mask. There have not been any confirmed reports of any life form in these alien ships, and experts believe that these are operated from where the actual aliens are in space. Okay, I'm just now receiving a report. The news just apparent from Atlanta. There has been a report of several alien ships firing laser-like explosives at the city, destroying most of the city including the Bank of America Plaza, and the death toll is expected to be in the thousands at this time due to the evacuation. Major fires have been reported at this time as a result, and the city is expected to be deemed uninhabitable in the next couple of days.
The time is 4:02 a.m. Central Daylight Time. Now for some special reports. There have not been any alien ships that have been reported in our local area at the moment, but the military in the area has been mostly destroyed as the air bases across the United States and the world have been destroyed. And the Russian government has collapsed. Most world leaders have been killed as a result of these sudden alien attacks. Something we've noticed with these attacks are that nearly all nations across the planet have set aside their differences and have united to attempt to defeat this alien invasion. Wait. Oh, Jesus. Okay, now I'm hearing the emergency sirens in the local area. I'm going to attempt to seek shelter now in our basement. If you are in this local area, we're just highly urging all of you guys to seek shelter. Oh my God.
The following message is transmitted at the request of Homeland Security and the House of Representatives. Several nuclear missiles have been launched from a submarine from the Arctic Ocean headed to an unknown destination. It is most likely that this missile is en route to the flying object in space, and it is also likely that this submarine is Russian after the Russian government in Moscow collapsed. However, as a precautionary action, all residents of the United States are urged to seek shelter now. Lock all doors and windows, and seek a shelter in a lower part of your home or isolated part of your home. Stay tuned to local media outlets on this dangerous situation. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Homeland Security and the House of Representatives. 2 nuclear missiles that were fired from a submarine in the Atlantic Ocean into space have been reported to have lost all form of propulsion and is now falling back into its atmosphere. The first impact is expected to hit somewhere in South Dakota or Nebraska, and the second impact is expected to impact near Iowa and Nebraska. Anyone in these states or near these states are urged to seek a fallout shelter now. If no such shelter exists in your area, seek an underground or interior room in your home. Impacts are now expected to occur in 2 minutes. All residents in these states should seek the nearest shelter and head to an interior room or basement. Gather food, water, medical supplies, and a battery-powered radio. Do not head outside. If you head outside, you may be exposing
At 2:34 a.m., a nuclear strike was detected 10 miles north of York. And nuclear radiation has been detected to be spreading into areas east of this location that now includes the Omaha metro area. All residents of the Omaha are advised to seek a fallout shelter as soon as possible. If no such shelter exists in your area, seek a shelter in the lower part of your home. Fallout is a byproduct of nuclear waste. Brief exposure to fallout can lead to certain death. Make sure to fast all food and water to last up to 2 weeks for your stay in the shelter. Local stations will be providing all news and information on this situation. President Nancy Pelosi has fled to the New Brunswick and her condition is currently unknown at this time. Stay tuned to local media outlets on this dangerous situation.
The following message is transmitted at the request of Homeland Security. Please stand by. A member of the House of Representatives will be speaking shortly.
To tell you that the United States government has collapsed, and most of the present line of succession has been killed. Other major superpowers across the globe have collapsed from alien attacks, and several nuclear weapons were fired in an attempt to destroy an alien ship that failed. Due to the severity of this attack, it is most likely that human life will end on planet Earth, as nearly 3 billion people have died in 2 days. It is estimated that all human life will end in 13 days from now. The virus that was released into the air has been engineered by these alien creatures and inflict maximum pain onto its victim. In one case, a strange black spike was reported to be growing out of a human body as a result of this. Despite our sacrifices of our citizens and the armed forces, the United States has been defeated, and there is no signs of peace as there is no alien life form that has been reported on planet Earth. We're urging all residents to act and preserve the memory of the USA and planet Earth, completely untarnished. Even in defeat, we can be victorious, and each will be remembered as your courage will inspire others. Access to a loaded firearm is idle, and you should place the whole of the gun upward to the roof of the mouth and fire. Local law enforcement has been ordered in remaining existing areas to ensure this. That being said, I will be signing off here now. Goodbye, and God bless America.